Most games in universe don't refer to themselves as video games, but that's only because most games don't bring attention to themselves as pieces of media. Despite this, some more meta games still don't refer to themselves as games. Superbrothers' Sword and Sworcery EP, a game made for Steam, Android, and iOS devices, will often call itself an experiment, often during the abstract moments between the 4 sessions. But by definition, by sheer fact of being downloadable on Steam, it is a game, right? There are plenty of other artsy kind of games that may be marketed as aesthetic experiences instead of video games, like Antichamber and The Beginner's Guide, games often called walking simulators because the gameplay part of the game has been stripped down in favor of telling a story or creating something visually interesting. But people would still label those games, and even if they weren't considered games, Sword and Sworcery EP actually has moments of play. It has puzzles, chase sequences, exploration, combat, health, things that are more associated with video game than some of those so-called walking simulator games. But even then, its game elements aren't that challenging, and it can be finished in only a couple of hours of actual gameplay if you know what you're doing. These musings all boil down to questions of semantics, but still, it's interesting to note that it's more gamey than other games treated as aesthetic experiences or sometimes referred to in non-game terms, but it chooses not to call itself a game. In some ways, it is more of an experiment, an experience, an album than it is a game, but it is still very clearly a game. But what sets it apart and makes it choose not to call itself that? How are its game elements used as a means for something greater, or at least for something different? What allows SS and SEP to be this meta-musical interactive experiment? April Fools! Who takes games seriously? They're fucking stupid and for children. Go read a book or something. This episode of Game Thesis was brought to you by Audible.com. If you go to audible.com/thislinkwillnotwork or do what we say it does, you will be able to download every single audiobook for free forever. Enjoy.